The Houston Rockets up to this point in the offseason have made a lot of moves to try to improve this roster and better themselves for future success. Adding Van Vliet and Dillon Brooks to the lucrative contracts they've acquired clearly shows that the Rockets front office are trying to go in a different direction that they've had themselves for the last 3 years. And one name that keeps echoing throughout my head that I feel that needs to be mentioned more when we're talking about if the Rockets are going to go back to making a playoff push is Jalen Green. For the reasons that I believe for the Rockets to once again be one of the more prominent teams at winning a championship, Jalen Green's leap is an essential component to that happening. Dare I say that it has to happen for them to have any shot of going back to what they used to be. And I actually believe that this Jalen Green leap that Rockets fans have been waiting for and wishing to happen might be closer than what we all believe. When you just look at the box score and see Jalen Green's production and efficiency, you probably will rule off Jalen Green as being a special player. However, when watching young studs like him early on, I think it's better to go over the film and watch the player's tendencies to understand how, with more experience and time, that it's going to eventually start clicking with him. Jalen Green is one of those players that if you're not actually watching him play and just going off the box score, you're never going to understand the true hype and the potential that Jalen Green receives from a lot of NBA fans. Jalen Green is 6'4", weighs a merely 186 pounds, but he can jump out of the gym. He's an incredible athlete that manages to combine such bounce with game-bending speed that makes him a truly imposing slasher around the rim. Jalen Green is so fast on the perimeter that it makes it really hard to actually be able to stay in front of him one-on-one. He's such a shifty player that he's able to dance with the defender, and then immediately with either a hezzy or crossover, he's able to blow right past that defender to get all the way to the rim. That's what's so intriguing to me about Green when you talk about his slashing ability, because before you even talk about his explosiveness to be able to detonate at the rim, you have to first account for that speed and quick twitch moves he can do with his handle. This possession is a perfect example of that. He's matched up with one of the best defenders in the NBA in Herb Jones in the corner with under 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Notice how Green only does a cross with a through the leg dribble, but because he has such burst when he's attacking, he gets right by Herb Jones. Now, Brandon Ingram from help side comes over to help, and he times it perfectly, I would say. Now Green shows off more of that ridiculous athleticism by jumping up, bringing the ball down, and still managing to finish it off with a finger roll on the other side of the basket where Jalen was attacking. Jalen having the speed that he does almost makes it unfair that he also has the acrobatics that he can use in the air as well. Jalen on this one receives a screen from Sengun going left. After coming off the screen, he elects to go what I would call a cross jab, going right to have the second pick and roll defender switch his hips. And another thing I love about Green's slashing ability is that he doesn't shy away from the contact. As soon as he completed the move, he did one more dribble and put his shoulder on the defender's chest to gain more leverage as he's attacking. As he lifts up the ground, even with the help coming over, it just didn't matter, and Green finishes the right hand layup. What also amazes me about Jalen's finishing is his change of directions. It doesn't matter if it's north-south or east-west. Green is able to use his handle and speed to fully commit attack in one way and then simultaneously crossing back the other way that has defenders frozen for a second. And on an NBA court, every single second matters to be able to stay in front of your man. And because of Jalen's quickness, the time a defender even recovers sometimes doesn't matter because he's already reached the paint. Now, when you look at Jalen Green's finishing numbers, you might ask, then why isn't his finishing numbers better than what I'm seeing? For reference, Jalen's finished at the rim with a 54.9 field goal percentage, which ranks in the NBA in the 37th percentile, which isn't good. obviously there's still some weaknesses in his finishing that needs to be addressed. He favors going right quite a bit on his drives, which therefore results in a lot of drives to the rim being telegraphed to the defense, and his touch around the rim needs some work, because for as much credit I give Jalen for his quickness and agility to get to the rim, if he's matched up with a defender that has amazing lateral quickness and solid strength and length, Jalen's finishing can look very bad, and his slashing is so heavily predicated on him being able to beat his defenders to the rim that it results in a lot of bad shooting games at the rim. Now, I still have a lot of hope eventually with more reps. Jalen will start to recognize to start fading out, telegraphing his moves to the defense, and tighten up his handle a bit more so he can beat defenders more efficiently, so his finishing numbers can increase, because Jalen has no problem being able to get to the rim. Drives per game per 75 possessions, Jalen attempts 7.7 a game, which is in the 92 percentile in the NBA, and his rim shot creation is a plus 2.3, which is also in the 98th percentile in the NBA, showing that him getting to the rim isn't the issue, but more so the type of finishing moves he's using once he's in the paint is the improvements he's going to need to make to become one of the better finishers in this league. If Jalen is able to improve his finishing bag around the rim, then he probably can be the best guard finisher in the NBA, because the talent is evidently there. However, being one of the best guard finishers isn't enough to label him as a future cornerstone. What else does he have to have as a scorer? Well, Jalen Green has a lot of potential and upside as a shot creator, mainly because of his handle. I went into it a little bit on how much Jalen's handle has helped him as a slasher, but it's equally as important bringing up how much it's helped him as a shot creator. Jalen has a pretty sound ball handle. He can string together enough complex moves to always be able to set up his shot or drive with it. When you look at his step backs that he loves doing to create space, it produces a ton of separation between him and the defender that sometimes he gets too much space to shoot the ball. He also loves using the hesitation, which is a dangerous move that you can intertwine with so many other moves he likes to use, especially the hezi pull-up that Jalen Green loves using once he incorporates a screen to create an open three-point look or midi. Jalen Green's shooting numbers doesn't do him a whole lot of justice, just like how I talked about with his finishing whatsoever. But again, I have to remind you guys, he's still early on into his career, and it's not like he isn't showing potential as a perimeter creator. According to B-Ball Index, Jalen Green ranks in three-point shot making in the 70th percentile, and in three-point shot creation, he ranks in the 98th percentile with a plus 2.38. So Jalen Green already has the ability to generate three-pointers down. Now it's about his ability to make those difficult shots with more regularity. Jalen Green's development next year is going to be something I'm going to be closely watching, because the potential with Jalen Green is still very high. He can become one of the league's best scorers if he's able to eventually figure out a lot of his weaknesses and polish his strengths to the point where he can become a legitimate mismatch for defenses. The talent is there, and he showed the flashes. Now it's about putting that all together and finding a way to translate that to the NBA court, which I'm still dying to witness. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the post notification bell to keep you posted whenever I upload a video. If you enjoyed videos like this detailing a player's skill set, make sure to let me know down in the comment section below and type down which other players you want me to go over. Now, I hope all of you who watched this video have a blessed rest of your day.